Yesterday started the 2012 GOP Republican convention to elect somebody named anybody but Obama. And so I took a Paul McCartney song yesterday. All my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks like Mitt Romney's here to say. But what I did was I was full of inspiration, and a lot of good things start like this, with a Sharpie and a paper towel. And what I came up with is what I call the Goebbels School. Because what I learned is the connections we make over time are a lot different. Like when I hear fairy tales and when I get the takeaway messages from movies and stuff, they have they go with me, and like I notice things, and I think they're so obvious that there isn't really need to say it, but really you have to spell it out. So what I have is this is the Goebbels School. It's all about tactics used to get you to think thoughts that are not your own. Joesph Goebbels was the advisor, strategist of Hitler for Nazi Germany. So I'm in no way honoring him by this. It's just his name is the most prominent example of what it's like of a campaign to go under. So I have Goebbels School, and I just wrote and wrote and wrote on a scroll. And here I wrote these words down. These are seed words of bad seeds only produce bad fruit. And I want to go back as the Goebbels with goggles on my intuition and look at all that happened within the Romney campaign. Because if you lived in America and you could hear that those bells that ring at Christmas, you know the Ron Paul, the Liberty Revolution, and making these connections between the fighting going on over there comes from not being able to manage our own money over here, and it all sort of connects back to seeds of times of conflict. So I wrote these words down for the Goebbels School: manipulation, coercion, force, jealousy, and flattery. And these are bad seeds. And in school you might have heard the word algorithm. And you probably don't like algorithms because of the way they were presented to you in school. But algorithms are a beautiful word with a lot of poetry. These are the seeds, like the center equals manipulation equals. It's something that keeps playing over and over and over and over in your mind. So we're going to look at some of the keywords, some of the strategies that were used that, in the same way you could pick from Skull and Bones Bush or Skull and Bones Kerry. The two-party system has presented you with Obamacare as the ultimate evil, and Obama being the apprentice of Obamacare. So you really couldn't script this, but this is how it works. When you think thoughts not your own. I wrote, the goal, the intent, the campaign strategy to win your psychology, to get your vote at any and all costs. Seeds create algorithms of thought. If you didn't understand any of the nursery rhymes and the takeaway, the moral of the story, look to these algorithms and see what they do in your life. So these are specialization techniques. I don't like the word brainwash because it can say this side is brainwashed and this side is brainwashed. But all our brains are specialized to make connection patterns. We have these memes and buttons that are this thought leads to that thought. But I think just having the word algorithm in your head will make you understand the Goebbels School. You can turn on Fox News and watch Big Bill O'Reilly, and you can sit there and, okay, there, he put a bad seed out there. Or maybe I was already running that algorithm, but now it's been revealed. Sometimes algorithms are running within you, and you don't understand. And One of the glue words that I take issue with is electable. And I wrote, the algorithm of considering who's electable defeats the process. The seed is jealousy. Anytime you look outside yourself for something that's supposed to come from within you, you consider another person, you give in to the peer pressure. Your vote is your own. It is possessive by nature to consider what or who other people are voting for. So I drew a whole algorithm of stuff that's going to happen when you have that electability. And most people can't make these connections. They don't see the seed of an algorithm throwing. So, okay, when you say, I wonder who's electable, and this isn't a virtuous word, it's just a made-up campaign word. You vote for who's prominent. Groupthink is the individual. Two-party or one-party dominate. Subversion, making fun of individuals. People say nothing ever changes. People believe nothing ever changes. People stay out of politics. Controlled opposition. Children are taught this attitude. People are afraid of being judged, and it leads to violence. So I wrote here, electable is a bad algorithm. And I'll keep going with two more here in the Goebbels School. The media and the news and everybody who went to journalism school, I guess, on the notion of getting the real story. And yet, what do we get? This seed, bad seed, anybody but Obama. And, you know, this is a seed that also is flattery as well as manipulation, because you become a perpetuation of this bad seed. It's growing within you, and you're like, well, just anybody but Obama, or anybody but anybody. So what does this algorithm lead to when you watch it play out over time? What is the equals? You may get anybody, and in this case, you really did. You got somebody named anybody but Obama. The mob rule, dollar for perception, groupthink, thoughts of settling. People may say things never change. Nothing ever changes. Transfer of power among the selected few. Letting television think for you. Looking for something out of hatred and not love. That you go into the deeper, fearful, dense thoughts. You can't make as many connections. You're already sinking America when you compromise what your vote really is. What your and Romney's tagline is: "Believe in America." Well, all right. Words of bad algorithm: conspiracy. This is one of the worst seeds of the algorithm because it pulls to your flattery again. And when you think, I'm going to try to do 10 minutes. When you think things are conspiracy, then you become ignorant. You're lulled into the complacency with what source you like. You know, what channel you're watching, what news, what personality is giving you your news. Well, that's just conspiracy. And okay, we leave it off. The School of Joesph Goebbels. A lot of people died. And you look over the true stories of actual fraud. My introduction to conspiracy was in 2008 at one of the polls in New Hampshire. Ron Paul really would have won the polling location, but it was written down that he had 0 votes when really he had 32. The difference between nothing and the most votes in the precinct. So, you know, once you catch into the undercurrents, and it really has to be that bell that rings. And Mr. Mike Huckabee from 2008, from my yesterday's song, but they don't see, they listen to Mike Huckabee, get their thoughts from Fox, CNN, MSNBC. He says, you lost, move on. But you really don't get to the undercurrents, and it's a shame. The history books are written of the authority of who authored it. So conspiracy, when you think things are conspiracy, it allows a few people in control of belief, and it lets the media think for you. So take away algorithms of thought. Anything that goes off of coercion, manipulation, flattery. What were some of my other ones that I wrote down? Force and coercion.